It is currently 6:54. Um, and like I just woke up. So that means I'm at my most active because I went to sleep at like I think 2 because I tried staying up for the new aespa release, but my eyes were burning. But anyways, my name is Oscar. Uh this will be the start of a, I guess, like video diary, or I want to call it a podcast. Usually podcasts have like 2 or more people, but it's just me, and I think I'll consider about having friends. But sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I would have filmed this earlier, um, but I've been sick for such a long time. I just have my iPad here. It is Monday, October 21st, and this is just like an introductory episode where I introduce myself and just like why I'm starting this. So I've been kind of wanting to start like a podcast, or like just to open a space where I can talk about my thoughts and my feelings, and just have a space where I can lay them out, sort of organize my thoughts, and just like maybe reach out and find others that struggle with the same things that I do, or have experienced the same things that I have, just so then like I can maybe provide some clarity for others out there, or I can connect with other people and they can give me some clarity. So it's sort of like a fair exchange in that way. Um, I'm reading my notes. This is my first time. Usually, of course, like I've watched other podcasts. Like I watch Emergency Intercom all the time, and I love them so much. But they have each other to bounce off of. Me, like here, it's just me. So I feel like having notes on the side is not too terrible. And I know I look like shit. I'm in my pajamas. I'm in my concert shirt. Any Janae Aiko fans, I love her so much. But this episode shouldn't be too long because I'm pretty much just introducing myself, talking about stuff. Um, I have other episodes planned out, but I thought that this first episode would be really important, considering that like I can't just start from just anything. Like I'd have to introduce myself, and I'd have to state like this, and this. That is what school taught me. And speaking of school, that'll be a later episode. And yeah, I mean, like, this podcast is not like entirely serious. It won't be 100% like serious all the time. It'll, I'll have some vulnerable moments, and there'll definitely be trigger warnings and tears, especially about the things that I talk about in my life. And then I might also like talk about, drama in my life, friends, their own situations, but of course I'd ask for consent first. Um, but yeah, I've always wanted to start something like this, and I bought this mic $40. Not too bad. It was just on Amazon, but I don't have Prime, so I got my friend to buy it. So gathering everything to like do this did take a little bit, but we got there. Um, I honestly I have lots of like outlines for episodes, but I don't know what to call this just yet, because it won't be 100% serious. Like not every episode will be serious, as I previously mentioned. Like I'll have some episodes where I just like talk about drama, talk about just like things that I want to or I'm interested. Like it's either I talk about my life and my feelings and like my drama and stuff, or I talk about, my interests, fashion, or just like things I just want to yap about, or things I want to get out there, because like I guess it's sort of like having a Twitter, like a video diary like version of Twitter or X. Like I just have my thoughts, and they're pretty stupid sometimes, well, most of the time, but honestly it's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand how people talk for this long. So far it's only been 5 minutes, and I've seen people that have like episodes for a whole hour. I mean, maybe because it's just me, I won't push myself to do that. I'll probably just have like 30-minute episodes. I think a video diary might be more accurate considering the time lengths of like what I think the episodes will be, but I'd really like to reach at least like 30 minutes or at least an hour, but I'd have to really like plan out a lot of things to talk about for one episode. I don't know how much I want to talk about in one episode because I kind of want one episode to like have a specific topic, but coming from watching like a bunch of different podcasts and the podcast that I want to model this one after, um, they talk about a bunch of different stuff because it's not exactly like a true crime one where they focus on one case, or I mean, sometimes they focus on multiple cases too, but to be honest, I'm not too sure. And I don't know if I really want to add like editing into any of these like episodes, but I think that this is pretty okay. I mean, to be fair, my ADHD would not be able to handle it. Like I can't watch podcasts on my own. Like I can't just watch two people talking unless like I don't know, I'm feeling it that day. I have to like play a game or something, or it's like I'm in a car ride and I can listen to it on Spotify. I don't know. And this is basically like I just have a lot of time and I have a lot of things to say. And I feel like I have a good amount of like stuff that happens in my life. Not exactly all exciting stuff, but things that do happen. And I have some pretty amazing friends that really love fucking around. So maybe there won't be like maybe all the episodes won't be in my bed because right now we're in my bed, we're in my canopy right next to my window. Like you're sitting on a Sailor Moon acrylic stand. Yeah. I don't know if it's a different frame or a different position because I had to cut for a bit because I had to go back and see how everything was. So far, so good. But yeah, I would have recorded this way earlier if I wasn't so sick. Like my sickness, it had me. I'm still a bit sick, but I'm feeling a lot better. But like this is like if I'm still counting like at this moment right now, I've been sick for like 3 weeks. First 2 days, like I felt the symptoms coming, and the thing was like I was working. I'll talk about work after I talk about being sick. Like at work, everyone was sick, so I was like, oh fuck, like I know it's gonna catch up to me. Like I have such bad luck with this shit, and it happens to me every year. Every year, I get really sick once, but then the rest of the year, I'm fine. And then after those 2 days, when I felt symptoms coming, it was absolute hell. Fucking, I had a headache. I had a pounding headache, but it wasn't like a like I take 2 shots of tequila like pounding headache. It was like constant, and it was in the back of my head, and like everything was just sore, like my elbows, my knees, my neck, and I was barely getting any sleep, so I was barely getting any rest, so I couldn't recover that well. And I couldn't even stand up. I literally had to lay in my bed. And then after those 2 days, I didn't have work for the next 2 days, so it would be my sixth day of being sick. On that sixth day, it was my I was just like it was 6 days of basically just like no, not 6 days because I worked beforehand, so that'd be 4 days of laying in bed. I had work the next day and I wasn't sure if I wanted to call off, but I thought I was being like a couch potato for way too long. Like I was laying in my bed for way too long. I needed to move. I needed to get my ass up. So I forced myself to go to work, and I've been taking up a lot of shifts. And oh, I work Thanksgiving. Stat pay is gonna be so good. I hope I make a band because I took a bunch of shifts too, but probably not. I never calculate my shit because like I know I'm gonna be disappointed. Um, because I work a minimum wage job. Like I'm I'm 18. I'm not gonna lie, like I see all these 18-year-olds and they have amazing opportunities, but I live in a dead city. Not much opportunity here, to be honest. You really have to just like even if you put yourself out there, there isn't much opportunity, at least in my opinion. Like you really have to like know people, know the right people, and like push everything, not just yourself. You have to push everything. But yeah, and my work, I work at a all you can eat sushi restaurant. It's not that bad. It's actually okay. The work, it's a lot, but after training, you get used to it, and it's pretty good. I think the only difficult part is like closing because you have to remember everything about closing and like do everything quickly before like our boss expects us to like finish. Because sometimes we're supposed to finish at like 10:30 or 10:15, but we don't finish things until 10:45 and we get in trouble sometimes, but it's okay. Especially if there's new people and we're training them, then he'll give us some leeway and it's totally fine. But if it's like veterans, I'm just gonna say like our the nickname for our restaurant. I don't because honestly like I don't really care, but I still don't really know if I should. But we call ourselves Toshi slaves. So the name for the restaurant is Toshi. Fuck, I'm just gonna say it. So I work at a place called Sushi Toshi. um, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm just a bus boy. I'm waiting to get promoted to server, but it's gonna take me a bit to get there. I've been working there since March, and it's really great. Actually, I sent in my resume. I had a bunch of restaurant experience prior, so that really helped me out. But I I'm Cantonese, and everyone there is also Cantonese, which is amazing. Cause then I can talk shit about I can talk shit about stuff and like have people not know, or I can also just have like really great conversations. Cause Cantonese is my first language. It's definitely gotten worse over the years because I've lived in Canada for so long, but I still really resonate and like identify with my Chinese heritage, of course. But everyone is Cantonese there, and it really does feel like a family. All of like the work aunties and my managers, they feel like my uncles and like sometimes father figures in a way, but only sometimes, not all the time. But my work aunties or my work moms, more or less, they really do feel like my work moms. They are so sweet, and they live such different lives from each other, and it's really refreshing. It's really amazing. It's really amazing to see because they just make me think of my own mom. But the only difference is that like they worked they work with children basically. Like they work with people my age, like 18, 20, 21, 22, people around that age. We only have like a few like older employees. Like of course we have our manager. We have our manager, which is the host. He's like 30 something. And then we have another server. He's also like 30 something. And then our boss, which he's like I guess like owner. I'm honestly not too sure, but I think he's like manager. I like to say manager slash boss. He's um he's also 30 something, I think, but he has kids, so like he has a his life is springing up very early on, very early. Uh, but I'm not gonna say too much about his life because this is the internet, and I don't want to get in trouble. Uh, but yeah, I'm just a bus boy. Like working there, low key, it stresses me the fuck out. Like the first few minutes, of course, or like the rush, always stressed out. I always have a million things to do. Everyone has a million things to do because in a restaurant like that, it's so cramped. There's so many fucking tables, and like it's such a tight space, and we need our tables back like immediately, and that's my job. Like people have to depend on the bussers, aka me, and like maybe one or two other coworkers, one or two other bus people to bus the table, clean it, and reset it. And it gets really stressful, but that's only at first. Because honestly, like now I actually like my job. I can like turn off my brain and bust a table. And like, I don't wear gloves, like, because I think it's more hygienic to like wash your hands instead of wear gloves, just because I can wash my hands more often than I can switch out my gloves. And also, like, if you wear gloves and there's food on it and you're like, you're serving food, you're running food, and a customer sees, like, you're you're gonna get a Google review written about you, or like you're gonna get something said about you. I'm sorry, and it's not the best. Like we've had instances where that has happened, and I do fully believe like raw dogging a table is so much better than wearing gloves. Like I'm a fucking demon when it comes to busting a table raw dog. Like I don't give a fuck. I'll just like start like swiping shit. But yeah, I can turn off my brain. It's kind of relaxing in a way. I can turn off my brain, bust a table, clock in, make money. It's not bad. And I get tipped there pretty well too as a bus person. And I love my coworkers. The servers are such sweet and amazing people. My fellow bus people, like all my coworkers are such sweet and amazing people. And we share the restaurant space as well. And what I mean by that is that there's a pedway or there's like a hallway between two restaurants because where we operate, like our restaurant, it used to be the bar of the sister restaurant beside us called Beijing. Well, we call it Beijing. It's called Beijing House. It's a Chinese buffet place. Um, but that area is so much larger because where we operate, it used to be like their bar. So like I wouldn't say like a speakeasy, but like just like a bar, like a small bar restaurant area. So we do operate with a tight space, but we also have a patio, which also gets really annoying sometimes. But luckily, it's getting colder outside, so we've closed the patio. The problem with the patio is that like it's such a hassle. It's so out of the way, and like it's a lot of work to operate there because it's basically sort of like a separate restaurant in its own way. Just because it's a whole door, we have to set things out, like we have to station things outside, and it's just a lot of work to like restock and just keep in mind like, oh, not only do I have to bus the inside of the actual restaurant, I have to bus like the patio. But like, enough about that. Oh, I was talking about being sick. What the hell? Uh, yeah. So I was forcing myself, and I was wearing a mask, and I was so scared of getting a Google review written about me because I was low key like I was coughing like crazy, and like I did not look too hot. Um, but we made it without any reviews. Thank God. Thank fucking God. But one thing about Google reviews, I fucking love reading our restaurant's Google reviews in our off time because it's so funny. Like we get so many miscommunications with customers, and we get called and we got called racist like twice. Well, at least by the like at like during the time I have been working there. And honestly, it's just a miscommunication. Like it's just us letting us, it's just us letting the customer know like, oh, it's all you can eat or like whatever, and they think of it as like like us stereotyping people, and that's really not the case because people literally come in and they think it's a la carte, but we're only all you can eat. Like if you want to do a la carte or if you want to just do like a set amount of items, like just do takeout because we don't do that in house. I'm sorry, like that's just how we operate. That's how we make money, and we actually make really good money there. Uh, the servers make really good money too, but that also just depends on like tipping and if you have time to provide like service to your tables and just like talk to them. I would love to have my coworkers on here. Honestly, it'd be so fun. I have this one coworker. Actually, no, I have so many. I have these two coworkers, two servers. I love them to death. Their names are Stella and McGee. I I think it should be fine. If they have a problem with me saying their name, I'll take this down and just censor it and then put it back up. So no problem. But I love them to death. We usually like I went out with Stella the other day to go clubbing, and that was really fun because it gave me a glimpse into her life. And like I really coworkered so hard that I ended up like going clubbing with Stella and like getting like just Wendy's or like McDonald's after work with Mickey, and it's just a fun time. Like I've genuinely like I've met these people and they're the coolest, most like wise people that like I look up to them. They truly are my role models. Not only because they're older, but also because like they've experienced so much and they've experienced like different things that I can ask and I can learn from. Sorry, I hear someone outside that woke up and I don't want to be too loud now because looking like my voice booms. Like you have no idea. I get texts sometimes from my mom and she's like, "Can you shut up?" And I'm like, "Okay." But yeah, I love all my coworkers so much. Everyone's just genuinely really nice. But I will admit at the beginning when I was training, of course every job has like their hazing, but I definitely was not treated as well as I am now. But that also may be due to the reason that like I didn't know these people and I was just there to work. Like I wasn't there to make friends because at my job before, let's just say I did not feel the greatest there. So there's that. But I'm really happy with where I am now, and we're opening like a location on the other side of the city, which is really great because I heard it's huge. But the thing is that our boss wants to rotate us like in and out there so we can learn the layout. But all almost like I'd say 90% of the staff that work at our location right now is like it's around the restaurant. We live near the restaurant. So for us to rotate to the other side of the city, like, come on, what the fuck? And mind you, like a lot of us are students. I don't have my license. I don't drive. I don't have a car. Unfortunately, I do know how to drive. I do know how to drive, but I don't have my license yet. And honestly, I'm kind of just scared too. I really am scared too, cause when when I drive sometimes like I've gone into a lot of close calls. Not a lot, been like two, but those things get very traumatizing, and I'm just not sure if I'm prepared to put myself in that position again. But I know it's like a necessity. Like I really do have to learn how to drive and have to know how to drive, especially in this city. My city is very oil oriented, so public transit's not that great. Public transit here is ass. Um, you have to own a car if you want to get around. And I wouldn't say the city's terrible, but it's definitely not the greatest. I miss like I really like traveling for that reason. I really love experiencing like different places and like how different places operate and just like local businesses. I really I really love just like walking around and just like taking it all in. But here, if I walk around, field, grass, maybe like a wood fence and some trees and like houses. There's nothing here. At least not where I live. What was I talking about? Oh, work. Yeah. But the good thing about having a new location is that they'll have room for me to promote up to being a server. And when I first applied to that job, I it wasn't like a oh like I just need a job. I'll take anything. It was not like that. I did not apply for a busboy either. He just told me that I would start it as a busboy and I was like, "Oh, okay." I applied to be a server. I've always been a server because I really like talking to people. Like I've always known how to talk to people. I know how to talk people up. Like I really know how to gas up people, especially if it's like the girlies at a table. It's so great. Like the energy is great. I can go up to a table and I can say anything. I can say I can introduce myself and just say like, "Hi divas, like how are we doing tonight?" we got any special occasions? Like any plans? Like I just and if they talk and like if they have the energy and the want. Sorry, sometimes I think in Chinese and I'm like, fuck. Like I can only think of that word in Chinese, but if they have like the want to communicate back to me, like it's great. And it raises the chance of a tip. And even as a busboy, I do talk to some tables, and I've had some tables like hand me a tip personally, but I've always given it to the server. Or at least I've always let them know, like, hey, like this table gave me this $5 or like this $10. Like, do you want it? And sometimes they'll be like, yeah, I'll take it. Or sometimes they'll be like, no, it's okay, you've earned it. But either way, I really don't mind because at the end of the day, it's their table. I didn't really do much. They did most of the work. Because talking to tables is a lot of work. If you have like 6 tables at once, that's a lot that's a lot to organize in your head, and that's also like a lot to just manage. Because you don't want to leave a table out, because then you might get stiffed or like not get stiffed. They'll pay it, but like they might not tip you, which is fucking awful. Really fucking awful. Lately, we've been experiencing a tip deficit, at least when I work. And I swear it's not my fault. I don't even talk to customers. It's not my job. Like, it's not my job to talk to them. Like, I don't need to. I'm just a busboy. I just pick up tables. But I've seen the servers and they work really hard to like make an effort to make the dining experience like a good experience. But like, there's just been so many zeros and it's really bad. Or like customs. Customs in like 5 cents or $1. Like, why'd you even tip? And just for just for reference or like for background knowledge, our all you can eat, it's like $40 a person, and it's sushi, and our food's pretty good. Like I've eaten there a lot. Me and my coworkers were just like, should we eat at work? And most of the time we say yes. Let me actually search up our price because I'm not too sure. Okay, yeah, Monday to Thursday, so that's our weekday. We count Fridays our weekend. Monday to Thursday, adults is 40.95, seniors 35.95, and children 12 and under are 25.95. Toddlers are $8. It's like 77.95. But then for long weekends, holidays, and the weekend, adults are 42.95. So just a couple dollars. So just like what, $2 more. And I know it can be pricey, but our food is good, and I'd say we have like decent quality, and we do a lot in terms of service, like pop, and also like it's sushi, kitchen items, hot stone. So hot stone is like this like stone grill that we do for our customers, and it just adds to the experience. We have a lot of places like this actually here in my city. But yeah, we have good reviews and genuinely good restaurant. I really I'm so happy I found this place. I really worked my way up from in terms of restaurants. Like I worked for a small restaurant, not that busy. Like it was really slow. It didn't really push me. It didn't really push me, you know. I didn't really learn anything. I did learn from that job, but I didn't learn as much as I did from here. And then the next job I worked at a Korean place. Uh it was a Korean stew place. Um no words for that place. I basically okay. How I would describe working there was I was stepping on eggshells the entire time. I could not relax. And I could not do my and like I was being watched all the time too. So stupid. I was being watched like a hawk. And then now I'm here at a place where I have coworkers I love and they appreciate me and I appreciate them. And pay is good. Like plus tips, I basically make like I'd like to say like 18 an hour. I get a lot in tips. Or at least in my opinion. But yeah, and our hours are good too. Like we open at 4. p.m., not a.m. We open at 4, and on weekdays, last call is 9:30, and weekends, last call is 10:30. Yeah, just a little promo for my workplace. But I'm not gonna lie, please do not, please do not blow this. Like, well, please actually blow this up. I don't give a fuck. Blow this up. But, don't come in because I don't want it to be more busy as it already is. I don't want it to be busier than it already is because it's actually really stressful. Like the slow days where I can keep up the pace, like, I love it. And sometimes the tips are okay too. We all get really stressed. And of course, there's like that restaurant thing where it's like, oh, I wasn't mad at you. It was just the rush. It's really like that. Like, I really do be getting pissed at people sometimes. But at the end of the shift, I'm just like, in the club, we all flat. In the club, we all fam. You'll see me, you'll hear me stutter a lot. Oh, I have to, okay, circling back to me talking about being sick, like, I didn't get better until like a few days ago, I'd say, because now I'm on like 5 pills. It's really awful, but I feel a lot better. Five being, so I'm taking like this antibiotic, and then like four of this one pill that I don't know what it is, but my mom gave it to me. It's made me feel better. Lots of water and my Accutane. So about 6 pills total. Not 6 different pills, but 6 pills that I am taking in one day. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if you live in the Edmonton area, come to Sushi Toshi. Small little promo. Uh, but if you do come, tip well. I'm not kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. You better tip well. At least 15. Okay, or at least come with a party so we can get gratuity. Cause I'm low key sick of picking up tables and seeing zeros, you know? And it's not that it affects me directly, because I'm just happy that I'm getting tipped by the servers. Oh, that's how the tipping system works. Basically, this the servers tip the bussers, and I like to think that they tip us on how well we do that day. If we do really poorly, the servers will give us 5 or nothing each. If we do really good, then like 10. If we do really good and the servers do really good, 15 each from each server. So it'd be, yeah, so each server. That's how I like to think about it. But I'm just happy that we get tipped at all. I appreciate all the work that they do. Like, it truly is my work family, like the restaurant family there, my true work family. Like, I've gone out with them. I've I've had like lots of deep car ride talks with them as well. They know a lot about my life. I know a lot about their life. Like, we've shared lots, and like we've built a connection. So everyone there truly is like a work family. At least I'd like to think. Um, but yeah, seeing those receipts, like, I'm like, bruh, it doesn't really affect me, but it's just disappointing because we put in all that work and effort, especially when I'm like bussing tables or running food, and they're spending all the time and effort to try and build that connection with their table, and there's just no tip. And I know that, sorry, right now the economy is like real bad, and money is tight for a lot of people. But you also have to realize the amount of effort and work that goes into a restaurant experience. I think that people just really forget about that. Um, the bare minimum should not be like a really extravagant, luxurious service. The bare minimum is barely any service at all. And at sushi and like at our restaurant, we do a lot. We actually do a lot. So if you're gonna come in, tip 15% or 20 or 18. 18's great. 18's amazing. 15 is also really great. Anything counts. I mean, of course, we appreciate everything, but the best is 15. And I haven't been working there for that long, but it's felt like a while. It's honestly felt like such a long time. And oh my God, wait. Sorry, I searched up our restaurant because like I've only worked there for like what? Not even a year. It's been like I'd say half a year, almost. Um, but I'm just looking and I'm like, wow, our restaurant used to look real different. Oh yeah, there's also like I know there's always gonna be work drama, but I think like our crew now is pretty good. Before apparently there was like a mass quit for the servers because they were not fucking with a lot of the things that were happening, but I didn't even know what the fuck was happening. Like we've been open for like a while. I'd say like we're not a really old restaurant, but we've been open for like a while. Let me search this up actually. Give me one moment. Maybe like 3 years. I went grade 10. Yeah, I'd say about 3 years, 3 or 4 years maybe. Maybe five. I have no idea. I don't think five. Sometimes I still can't believe that people actually come in and like content creators like come in and like make videos about our food and like us. I'll give myself a haircut. I wish I took a before photo, but I just trimmed myself a bit. I cannot fade. Do not ask me to fade. It's so bad. My eyebrow blends in with my hair, so it looks like a straight line sometimes, but I swear it's not. I want to bleach my brows again. Sorry, that ended really abruptly. My phone ran out of storage. But I'm gonna end it off here. The sun's rising and I think I wanna make some food to eat. Uh but yeah, I think I've talked for long enough. This was the first episode for those listening and listening to this point till the end. Thank you so much. And I'll hope to see you or more people in the future. I hope more people end up watching me.